Let's talk about Dmitry Duyunov and the combined winding technology Slavyanka. Dmitry Duyunov is a Russian design engineer and author of the Slavyanka technology. About 30 years ago, Dmitry Duyunov began working on the combined winding technology Slavyanka. And in 1995, this work yielded results, and the technology was successfully put into practice for the first time. Of course, it was only the first step, and there was a large scope of work for Duyunov's team down the road. There were patents obtained and research conducted. The combined winding technology was put in practice. Various induction electric motors were designed and modernized. Finally, more than 20 years of work resulted in what we can see today. If you're interested in learning more about the SovElMash Innovative Center, the Project Duyunov's motors and the combined winding technology, visit our official website. The link is provided below this video. And also subscribe to our channel not to miss the next videos. Hello, I'm Alexander Sudrev. Today I want to discuss with you the global problems of mankind and ways of solving them. As you know, mankind aspires to automate all processes of life activity. These include line production and a large variety of electric devices, computers, robots, common mobile phones and other gadgets. All of them require a colossal amount of electric energy. Currently, the main consumers of electric energy are induction motors and lightning. Let's talk in more detail about induction motors. They constitute the greater part of all electric motors in the world, about 80%. Let's delve into where they are used. They are applied in industry, agriculture, and public utilities as well as other areas. No production can operate without drives, pumps, ventilators, transportation and conveyors, machine tools and lifting machines, as well as a large variety of other production machinery. Even common water supply and heating in your homes functions thanks to using induction electric motors. And now let's talk about where you can come across induction electric motors daily. Every day you use a washing machine, refrigerator, dishwashing machine, microwave oven and hairdryer. If you're working with electric tools, you might use an electric screwdriver, drill, jigsaw, and a variety of other tools. All this equipment operates thanks to using electric motors. and it is a colossal amount of electric energy, which, as you know, should be produced. It doesn't appear out of nowhere, and methods of producing it often cause considerable harm to the planet's environment. Of course, there are energy production methods that are environmentally friendly, but unfortunately, currently their capacity is not enough to meet all needs of mankind. And it really poses a serious and important problem for mankind and the planet on the whole. Our company, like many others, work on addressing this problem, and at the moment we have a rather specific solution. We offer a unique technology of combined winding types called Slavyanka. Standard induction electric motors operate using either the star or star delta winding type. Dmitry Dujunovi offered a unique approach and combined two winding types in one, which gave unique performance characteristics to the motor. In particular, high capacity, high energy efficiency, and distinctive reliability, while keeping the same size of relatively simple induction electric motors. And these are not just words. It has all been proved by a large number of patents and license agreements with hundreds of wind specialists. It's worth noting that this solution allows to save up 30% of electric energy. And now let's imagine if we save even 20% of electric energy worldwide. It will contribute tremendously to improving our planet's environment. Besides, we should keep in mind that annually about 7 billion of new electric motors come into service, and about the same amount of them undergo full repair. Being aware of that and taking into consideration the fact that for producing motors based on Slavyanka combined winding technology, less electrical steel, aluminum and copper is used. By remaking two standard electric motors, we can produce 4 motors with Slavyanka combined winding type, and their efficiency will be times higher than its standard ones. And we shouldn't forget about the effect of planned obsolescence. What is that? It means producing goods with an artificially limited useful life to provide repeat purchases. In simple terms, it is creating goods with limited service life, after which it simply breaks down and goes out of service. Planned obsolescence turns our planet into a huge dump site and drains the resources. We can challenge that with our technology. Referring to data we have mentioned, using induction motors with Slavyanka winding can significantly improve the environment and exert certain economic effect. The need in this technology is growing with every day, and the application scope of this technology is very wide. Another important aspect is that motors designed using this technology meet the requirements of the new IE3 standard that has recently come into force in Europe, and it has substantially tightened the requirements to all electric motors used on the territory of the European Union. Here on today's video comes to an end. If you are concerned with the global humanity challenges, you have a unique opportunity to join our numerous team. To do that, please follow the links in the description, subscribe to our channel, register your personal account on the official site to stay informed about the latest and most up-to-date project news. It was Alexander Sudarev. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time. So, we're in the laboratory of SovElMash, and I would like to show you what the difference between class IE4 electric motors and standard induction motors with classic winding is. Okay, we have one electric motor of the energy efficient class IE4. You can see it here on the nameplate. Class IE4 for various voltage and frequency. Consequently, the power is 4 kW. This is what we are to compare with our motor. And so this is a regular motor and here is our motor. It's the same, the power is 4 kW. Now we are measuring the rotor length of IE4 motor and regular motor. For instance, the IE4 rotor length is 204 millimeters. Now let's have a look at regular motor. It's about 145 millimeters. Now the copper. The IE4 motor is 256 millimeters in the copper part. The standard one I can measure it accurately. I can touch the copper part from this side and on the other side it's somewhere deep in there. We can only measure it roughly, so it's 235 now, and minus something that goes deep in there. About 15 millimeters minus is about 220 millimeters in total. So here there is less copper used and here consequently much more copper. That makes class IE4 motor so expensive. I have told you about the motor. This motor is size 104 kilowatt. We also have a class IE4 3 kilowatt motor. But unfortunately we don't have a regular motor. Not an energy efficient one with the same power. But we have a similar motor with the same diameter rotor, but we can see that it's almost 2 times shorter. Just to give an example. To make class IE4 motors, the producers of such motors make really thick short circuitors using a large amount of aluminum here. You can see the thickness. Here is how thick and deep it is. The full depth here. So there is a lot of material used. Consequently, the price of IE4 is times higher than of regular motors. That's why our task is to use the Slavyanka winding for making the same energy efficiency class that is IE4 in the cheap motor frame. That's what we'll be working on.
Hello friends, my name is Andrei Lobov. I am from the company Steen. And today I want to share the latest news with you. News covering several months. And I want to get straight to my favorite topic. It is the tricycle tuk-tuk, Bajaj Maxima. We tested it in the summer, in the autumn. We loaded it with 500 kilo blocks. We put solar panels on it, 600 watt. And we made sure that our motor DA90S with combined windings allows to run this tricycle, this heavy tricycle, so it allows to reach the speed of 20 kilometers per hour without the battery. But as we installed the battery there, 50 ampere hours, it gets charged from solar energy all the time, and it allows to cover up to 75 kilometers per day. It allows to cover this distance per day. I tried it myself. I sent my car to repairs, and I used this tuk-tuk to go to work, and from work I saw for myself that this vehicle is great. It is very resistant, it is very economical, easy to control, and easy to run, easy to maintain. We sent it to the city of Kursk. It was used in a greenhouse business there, and it proved to be great. As of today, we have received a request for using it in the central park of Sochi as a little coffee shop, a mobile coffee shop. Now we need to take it from Kursk, equip it further and send it to Sochi. And well, speaking of tuk-tuks, we have prepared 4 kits, the same kits. We prepared them for installing them on the same Bajaj Maximas, and we included solar batteries and controllers for solar batteries in the kit. And of course, our motor, DA90S with combined windings, is also part of the kit. We have packed all of it already, and we are preparing it to be sent to India in its package. And now a couple of words about a motorbike, Bajaj Pulsar motorbike. It is a very popular model. That is why we selected it for re-equipment, for transforming it into an electrical motor. We used the motor DAS, which was more powerful, 5 kilowatt. We tried and tested this motorbike in the summer, and in the autumn we gave it to the blogger Matvey, who highly acclaimed our work. He really loved the reduction ratio. He liked it that, well, it was autumn and it was rather chilly. And theoretically, this motorbike can cover 170 kilometers. So we have now prepared it to send it to Sochi. Snow does not allow us to test it here. There we have winding roads, we have slopes, and climate is warmer there. We will definitely know what distance it can cover, how it does it, how it behaves. Whether this kit can be offered to our partners, because they have already seen it. Birdi has visited us. I'm sure that all of you know him. He had a ride and he was delighted with this motorbike, especially that it is an Indian model. We exchange messages with Birdi Kumar, we call each other, we talk about how to promote this project further. And another interesting piece of news. Several months ago we received a commercial order. A large company came to speak to us. It is a holiday center, well, a resort. The director of this holiday center told us that it was prohibited to use gas transport in Chelyabinsk region. No gas transport at all. Neither water transport, nor automobile transport, nothing. But as fishermen and tourists, everyone who likes having a rest in the mountains, in beautiful places, at the lake, they have to get around somehow. So we received an order for a husky, an electrical husky. We prepared it with the DA90S motor, and the video on how this husky is used in Chelyabinsk region will be prepared very soon. We will show it to you very soon. And I have mentioned the husky, and another interesting thing. Some time ago, Gilles Weber visited us. He was accompanied by his assistant, Barbara. They are from the African continent. They are very interested, and they have been interested for a long time in motors made by the Slavyanka technology, and of course they wanted to see how it works. They had a ride on the electrical husky with great pleasure. Everyone was really happy about that. After the husky, we made them try a Sherpa. It is a cross-country vehicle. We had a ride in the water, in it, in the river. And it is interesting that we already have this cross-country vehicle in the electrical version. It has 2 motors with combined windings in it. The electrical version of the cross-country vehicle is now at the stage of development and testing. Very soon as this work is completed, we will show it to you. And of course, we could not mention our latest project as of today. This is go-karting, an electrical go-kart. Our guests, Gilles and Barbara, we took them to Sochi, to Krasnaya Polyana, where we test this kit, made specially for go-karts. It is a Berlin go-kart, very popular. It's called Rima. We installed this reductor there with the motor DA90SM, with a cooling system, with a ventilator, with this pulley, which transfers the reduction ratio to the wheels of the go-kart. And our guest had a ride on this model with a lot of pleasure. I think that this is the best electrical go-kart as of today. It is very economical. It allows to run for 60 minutes in the rental mode. Everything depends on the rider, of course. Sometimes you can go for up to 70 minutes. It is 6 to 7 runs, 10 minutes each. This is a lot. For example, today, a Latvian kit, which is installed on such go-karts with an BLDC motor, it can only run for 10 minutes. As for the others, I can't tell you much, because today electrical go-karts are really rare. There are very few models. We have entered this domain and we're trying it, we're testing it. We're eliminating failures and errors. I think that we will be finished with this kit very soon. Another interesting project to my mind is, well, we got an order to install our motor on a mini gallon wagon, an automobile for children. It was quite a difficult order because the car, the frame themselves were fabricated already, and it was very difficult to get into the spots which were left for our motor. The motor is big. But we coped with the task. We installed our motor, we developed a reductor for it. The client was generally happy. The car is functioning well. It can go over curbs, it can go up slopes, it can run in the sand. A real Geländewagen, a real cross-country vehicle. Well, friends, on this I think that I will finish with the news. There are a lot of projects, a lot of orders, but they are not yet started. They only exist on paper for the moment. This is it in terms of interesting things which have happened. It's not that we disappeared, it's just that we were working really hard. We'll keep in touch. Follow us. As soon as something interesting comes up, I will make sure to share it with you.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья! Хочу порадовать вас новостью, что новые моторы DA95S готовы и находятся в серийном производстве. Как я уже и сообщал раньше, эти моторы полностью сменят моторы серии DA100S и DA100SL. Многие задают вопросы, почему это происходит. Ответ простой. Эти моторы имеют гораздо высший КПД, высшую эффективность, большая скорость и больше крутящие моменты. Те, кто знаком с электромоторами, то знают, что электромоторы большего габарита имеют высшую эффективность. В нашем же случае DA90S имел эффективность выше, чем моторы DA100 габарита. Поэтому и была цель создать новые моторы. Эти новые моторы были сделаны на основе существующих китайских приводных моторов, но с заменением полностью обмоток и статора двигателя. Кстати, тесты моторов DA90S и DA100SL вы можете посмотреть по ссылке в описании. Моторы прошли тесты, независимые тесты в лаборатории завода, и, как вы видите, эти тесты проходили в очень хорошо оборудованной лаборатории и показали очень хорошие параметры. Поэтому было принято решение полностью сменить серию DA100 на серию DA95. Тем более, что этот мотор намного меньше в весе и имеет намного лучшие данные. В настоящее время эти моторы принялись на эксплуатацию заводом UP Power Motors и будут устанавливаться в ряде серийных мотоциклов. Я надеюсь, вам понравилось это сообщение. Подписывайтесь на мой канал, ставьте лайк и до новых встреч. Всего хорошего.
Маныч, газуй. От винта, от винта.
Он держит, видишь? Типа отпусти. Сорвешь, осадок улетит. Хвостом. Дырка в лодке. Буксир у нас. На буксир тащит.
Показываем, как наши моторы защищены от воды и от грязи. Так, мотор DA90S. Как работают наши моторы даже в воде. Полностью защищены от воды и без проблем погружать в воду можно их от грязи. Добрый день, дорогие друзья! Приветствую вас на моем канале. И сегодня я хочу поговорить о нашем новом проекте. Наверное, многие уже знают о нашем автомобиле E300, который мы сертифицировали для Европы. И сейчас я поговорю о проекте, который лежит в основе этого автомобиля, но уже как модель пикапа. Так что эту модель мы готовим для серийного производства. Это пока прототип. Сейчас можете его ознакомиться с этим прототипом. Окончательные данные будут опубликованы для этого автомобиля чуть позже. Так что смотрите наши новости. Как я говорил, не забывайте подписываться на наш канал. Включайте колокольчик, чтобы было сообщение о наших новостях. И добро пожаловать на презентацию. Смотрите этот автомобиль. Пока еще не в серийном производстве, но надеюсь, он вам понравится.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья! Мы продолжаем серию тестов с нашими новыми моторами TA100S. В данный момент мы используем батареи, способные отдавать 80 ампер постоянного тока и кратковременно в пике до 160 ампер. С этой батареей целесообразно использовать наш контроллер DECA 165, позволяющий отдавать 165 ампер фазного тока. Мотор развивает при этом до 50 ньютонов на метр, и на колесе мы получаем от 250 до 320 ньютонов на метр. Что можно сделать с этими моментами, вы видите сами. Даже на бетоне с этими амперами и с этим моментом можно создать те эффекты, которые вы очень любите. То, что произойдет с 350 амперами, мы получим моменты более чем в 2 раза больше, чем мы получаем с этим контроллером и с этой батареей в данный момент.
Да, давайте.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья! Приветствую вас сегодня на моем канале. И рад вам представить сегодня наш проект, который мы начинали еще в 2019 году. Это проект солнечные лодки в Таиланде. На этих лодках мы используем наши моторы DA100 SL. И начиная уже с 2020 года начали использовать также моторы DA112 SL.
Раньше здесь был цветущий регион. Сейчас все жители уходят, дома закрываются. 2 банка закрыли, потому что невозможно существовать. Из-за большого шума, из-за загрязнения воздуха, потому что дышать здесь нечем, когда проезжают эти лодки. И шум неимоверный.
Как вы знаете, в 2011 году, в ноябре месяце, премьер-министр посетил этот регион и была создана группа по развитию экологического электротранспорта. Премьер-министр сам начал курировать эти проекты и уделяет этому очень большое внимание. Уже в 2020 году был создан комитет, департамент экологии, и ведущие специалисты университетов и колледжей были подключены к развитию этих проектов. После посещения региона премьер-министром очень интенсивно начали развиваться эти проекты. Начали создаваться больше и больше лодок и направления также другого электротранспорта, это в основном еще тук-туки. Уже в 2020 году образовалась небольшая флотилия электролодок с нашими моторами, и не только с моторами DA100 SL, также моторами более мощными DA112 SL. Ровно через год на фестивале экологии этого региона присутствовал министр спорта и туризма, и наши проекты были также представлены ему и получили большую поддержку и начали развиваться более интенсивно. Будут созданы электролодки с солнечными панелями мощностью 1,1 кВт, что позволит заряжать батарею в день до 5,5 кВт-часов электроэнергии, что практически удвоит расстояние, которое сможет проходить электролодка на электричестве. В будущих видео или в будущих новостях вы узнаете еще об одном важном проекте, который мы ведем в Таиланде. Это проект тук-туков. Как вы знаете, тук-туки — это очень популярное средство передвижения в Таиланде. И наши проекты или же наши моторы, наши привода заняли первые призовые места в соревнованиях среди университетов и были признаны как самые экономичные привода для этого вида транспорта. Так что то, что вы видите сейчас, это для будущего видео, это оси, задние оси для тук-туков и для моторов DA100 SL.
Good afternoon, dear partners, investors, colleagues, everyone who is watching this video, everyone who is following us, including haters. Hello everyone. We're again on the construction site. Design and Technological Bureau SovElMash is being constructed here. A year ago, approximately, we were filming videos here and there was nothing here. There was a pit where there was concrete foundation. And now, behind me, you see a building. A year has passed. Is that long or not? Well, that depends. How was the year? It was quite, well, joyful, exciting. Not boring, definitely. But the year was difficult. Things are not easy. Still, all the obstacles have been overcome. And the building is being constructed. Investors invest their money, and what you see behind me is being built. And this is a confirmation that investments go here. You know, sometimes they build pyramids, they steal money, but when you steal money, you can't build such things. Still, there were some delays. We have spoken about that already, but we never had a thorough discussion. We were saying that something was wrong with the permitting system and so on. But I think that time has come to speak about that openly, the reasons for those delays. Because without that, construction looks perfect. Everyone says things are clean, things are good, but what price are we paying for that? Behind me you see panels. Panels of the administrative part of the Design and Technological Bureau. Light gray, dark gray. These panels were the reason for delay of mounting instructions. Why was it so? Because the plant that was supplying them delivered those panels with suck marks. What are those suck marks? Well, it's not what you thought about. It is something different. You know, technology of moving panels in the plant means that they're actually captured with suction cups, and somebody did not control pressure and too much tension was created and metal was like sucked in, which resulted in deformation of the surface, cosmetic defects and all the rest. And it took time to solve that problem, significant time. That is why mounting those panels was suspended. But as you see, in the glass part, scaffolding will be put and frames will be set. Work continues. The problem has been solved. Then we moved on, and there are quite many problems like that. Let's move on. So, we are now in a different place, on the other side of the administrative building, and we see what we were speaking about. Mounting continues. Yesterday, 2 floors were covered with those panels. It is moving on, and very soon one of the walls will be finished. Now let's move a little bit and see yet another problem. Here is the second problem that we did not show to you. This is the achievement of the glorious company Alpha Stroy. It was done really greatly, using cutting-edge technologies. A pit was dug for communication well, and then it just collapsed. Because according to the norms and standards, 2 meters or more should be supported, or they make slopes for that. But they did not do it correctly, and that is why work was stopped. It was stopped immediately, until things would be fixed. But still you see that, you know, it was demounted, it was heated up, and so on. We were asking them why. Why are you doing that? Well, for communication networks, for utility lines. Alpha Stroy Company, well, remember them. Remember these heroes. This is how they work. And it led to stopping of work. But they want a lot of money for their utility lines. A lot of money. And now we are fighting over cost estimates. Because in cost estimates, you know, they charged us for removing the ground. Here is the ground. So there was that extra soil, because backfilling will be done with sand. They wanted 1,000 rubles per 1 ton. I don't know such prices. Because removal is usually calculated in cube meters. And in cube meters, it is 1,750 rubles per cubic meter. And they have quite a good appetite. They are telling me our price is perfect according to the market. It is not a market, it is a real bazaar. And we have to stop such things all the time. We have capital development direction that solves such issues all the time, and they do come up all the time. In addition, this construction could have stopped many times. One of the reasons was that when we were engaged in the acceptance procedure with one of our technical suppliers, we saw a deviation of one of the columns, and all the construction was stopped until the developers of this construction, Estron, had completed all engineering calculations, and until it was shown that deviation did not impact the bearing capacity of the construction, but still there was that suspension of work, that stopping. And then they tell us fairy tales about, you know, different things, and they are not fairy tales what I'm speaking to you about. It is reality. And it was also true concerning other things. It happens regularly. But the main thing is not that we have them. It is inevitable. The main thing is how they are solved. And the team managed to solve all those issues and not to allow for a situation when somebody would be crushed in that pit. There were many similar situations, much more serious ones, much more tense ones. But they were all solved. So don't think that it is, you know, like red carpets here. No, they are rather thorns. Thorns and thorns, once again. Nothing but thistles. And we just struggle along. And now there is a big meeting here on the construction site. All managers have come. They are solving disputes, problems which emerge. I went there very rarely, because when I do go there, I just say my last word. And then when I say that last word, very strict measures follow. Now let's speak about interesting things. Let's go up. Look, we're now in the ears of Cheburashka. And there are these holes in front of me. Why were they dug? It is drilling of ground. It is done to check the temperature below. And measurements showed that the temperature was negative. So before pouring all of it, before doing concrete foundation, we will need to heat it up. Because it will take a lot of time to melt itself, and that will slow down the process of construction. Let's look at heating up. Let's go. Here is another hole, another drilled hole. It is the main part of the building, measurement of temperature as well. Now look, dear colleagues. Here we see the station which heats up heat conductor. The heat conductor travels in hoses covered with canvas, and then it goes to that part. And there under canvas, let's go look. Here under canvas, hoses are put. We'll now try the temperature. Warm, they're warm. So they're heating up the ground. After the ground melts in this part, they will do compacting. after winter, backfilling, thermal insulation along the contour, and concrete foundation pouring. We will now see how concrete foundation work has been done in the warehouse part. We have already shown it, I think. But now it looks very different. If we look at it from the outside, without curtains, without anything, here it is, concrete foundation. It has been completed, and temperature has also been measured here, and then they will just be connected. The main thing is that now we have the possibility to continue work in parallel. We will now approach one very interesting place. The cameraman will show it to you. This is the place for putting transformers there. 10,000 volts will be transformed in low pressure here, 0.4 kilowatt, and they will feed the facility. You see the guiding mechanism, and so 1, 2, 3, 4 transformers, 4 of them. And then there is switch equipment, all the connections have been prepared, and this concrete foundation allows us to continue work here, in parallel. That is installation of electric networks in our facility. We have been waiting for that for a long time, for doing everything in accordance. Marshalling panels, 10 kilovolts, have already been manufactured and paid for. So transformers are on the site. Now we will go have a look at another interesting thing. Warehouse where materials are stocked. It was in the back part of the building. We were waiting for so long for it to be cleared. But, well, the building is growing. And the warehouse does not get smaller, it seems. The cameraman will show it to you. A view from here. You see how many things there are in the warehouse. A lot of partitions, a lot of panels, metal constructions. All of that is still to be mounted in the building. And now let's go on the second floor. We are on the second floor. And you see what has been done here in the last several days. Baseboards have already been installed in the bottom part. Joints were covered with casings. Casings were put on door frames. So things look more complete here, gradually. And after baseboards are installed, pouring of the floor can be performed. Now the cameraman will show you what it looks like from the outside, and I will keep silent for a moment. we haven't been here together since New Year. Well, I have been here, of course, but we have not been here together. This is what a roof looks like. Well, before we used to look at snow piles here, and now we are on solid roof. Scope of work which remains is not big. It is the administrative building and partially the industrial one. And we see the scale of all of it much better from here. Things that have been done in the last year, despite problems, despite issues. Whatever happened, whatever was there, is the past. I hope and I'm sure that we'll have more interesting events in the future, commissioning the facility and the first products that we'll produce. It is in our hands. It is in your hands, and we will do what depends on us. Now, enough of talking, I think, and the cameraman will show you a little bit more things. See you soon. Goodbye.